Hey, what's going on? My name's Anthony DeRossi. I'm one of the pastors here at Keystone Bible Church. We're a multi-congregational church in the Tampa Bay area. And for the next few moments, I just want to offer you some encouragement for your walk with Jesus this week. And in Genesis 15, God is going to enter into a formal covenant with Abraham and his offspring. And there's so many amazing things that we could say about that covenant, its nature, its preceding context, how God's presence is manifest. I mean, there's so many things. But I just want to give you one thought about Abraham's response. It's after God explains all that he's going to do with Abraham. Listen to how Abraham responds in Genesis 15, verse 6. He says, Abraham believed the Lord, and then God credited it to him as righteousness. You know, the great Scottish Baptist minister of the 1800s, Alexander MacLaren, he made a simple but profound observation on this text, and that it was Abraham's response doesn't deal so much with faith in the promise as it does with faith in the promiser. Alexander MacLaren goes on to say that if we believe in the former, we're really believing the latter. So the teaching I'm trying to present to you is that true faith is faith in Yahweh himself. Now you might say, that's so simple, you know, it's basic, I know that. Well, I'm sure you know that. But do you see how easy that we can forget that? Let me give you an example. You go through something difficult in your life. You have an obstacle that you're facing, and as you're facing your obstacle, you make a statement or you have a thought that goes something like this. You know, I'm going to get through this. Well, why? I'm going to get through this because I have faith. Well, if we're not careful, that statement right there, that thought can be a subtle shift away from you trusting in the sufficiency and strength of the object of your faith to trusting in the sufficiency and strength of yourself and your own ability to have faith. If we're not careful, we can easily make an idol out of quote-unquote strong faith. Friends, listen, you are not saved by the strength of your faith. You are saved and held by the strength of the object of your faith. And if you're looking at the strength and quality of your efforts to believe, you may just be making an idol out of your faith and making God unnecessary. True faith does not look to itself, it looks away. It has the object of its faith as Jesus Christ. If you read the biography of John Wesley and Charles Wesley, the founders of Methodism, quite frankly, they didn't understand this. They did a lot of really great things, but they didn't understand that faith was mainly and primarily a gift from our sovereign God. So when they saw the Bible says you're saved by faith, they began to say things like, oh my word, like if my faith is so impure, it's so weak, I have doubts. Oh, look, there's another doubt right now. I'm never going to be saved. My faith is so impure. It's a wrong view of faith, friends. The Bible's teaching of faith is more like it's like a windshield. It's not something you look at, because if you do, you'll crash. You see, if you're trying to drive a car while you're so fixated with all the impurities and blemishes and spots on your windshield, you're not going to be looking at the road anymore. And so you'll veer off and you'll crash. You have to look through the windshield, through your faith. So how clean and how pure does a windshield need to be? Just enough for you to see the road. How pure and spotless does your faith need to be? Just pure enough so that you can see the gospel. You can see Jesus Christ. And what's the gospel? The gospel is not you giving a righteousness to God so that he'll love you. Salvation is God giving a righteousness to you because he already does love you. I don't want to belabor the point. I feel like you're getting it, but there's another great illustration of how practical this view of faith is. You may have heard about the death of James Garfield, the 20th U.S. president, who died in 1881. An assassin shot him. One bullet went right through his arm. It grazed his arm, didn't really do any damage, but the other one entered his lower back, deflected off a rib, and lodged near his pancreas. After Garfield was removed from the White House, he was under the care of a team of surgeons, and he underwent 3 operations. But the real kicker, you could say, was that the doctors repeatedly probed the wound with bare fingers and unsterilized instruments, which was very common back then. And it was actually the continual probing of the wound that led to blood poisoning, which was actually the immediate death of James Garfield. What a picture of the danger of nasal gazing at one's faith instead of just looking through to the object of your faith. The Bible faith does not stare at its own navel. It looks away from itself to the one who promises, and we find rest there. That's where true faith looks. So get your eyes off yourself this week. Look at the object of your faith and not yourself. Thanks so much for joining us on this week's edition of Midweek Morning Encouragement. Hope you've been encouraged. I certainly have, and we look forward to seeing you right here next week on Midweek Morning Encouragement. If you would like to make sure that you never miss encouragement in the middle of your week, text MME to the number listed just below here on the screen, and we'll make sure we get that to your phone every Wednesday morning. And we'll see you next week right here on Midweek Morning Encouragement.